So behind me is the oldest structure in Phnom Penh, built in 1373. It's a pagoda. Lady Pen in 1373 was along the river Tonle Pen, and a koki tree was floated by. She noticed something shiny, so she pulled it to the side of the river. Inside of the koki tree was 4 bronze statues of Buddha and 1 statue of Vishnu. At that time, she asked some monks to build this pagoda, and they used the koki tree to build the pagoda, and inside they put the 4 bronze statues and the statue of Vishnu. Let's take a look. Click more information below this video for an interactive Google map of this walking tour of Phnom Penh, plus everything fun and cheap to do there, and in 50 other retire cheap destinations. Plus grab a free copy of my ebook, How to Fire Your Boss and Travel the World. By the way, it's Wat Nam, like in Phnom Penh. Don't get too hung up on dates when you're in Southeast Asia. When they give you a date, it means the date that the ground you're standing on something happened. Like for example, in this Wat Nam, the date of 1373 is when the first pagoda was built. But if you were to but it gets remodeled every few hundred years or whatever, so obviously the pagoda we just showed you, the inside with Buddha and all of the artifacts, some of that has been updated, as you can tell. So when you're on a things to do tour, I recommend using the tuk-tuks. With Grab, yeah, you want Grab. Because the price is fixed, you don't have to negotiate. They come pick you up, you don't have to try to communicate. The map tells them where to go, and it's really cheap. It costs $1 to go to most places. We're going 1 kilometer for $1. We walked here, but the next stop we're going to hit the National Museum. We're going to take a tuk-tuk. We're in the tuk-tuk. We're headed on our way. So this is the National Museum. It houses the world's largest collection of Khmer art. From pre-Angkor through present times. There's stone, ceramics, bronzes, and various forms of art. This museum itself, of course, was inaugurated in 1920. Definitely worth a visit while you're here. I was here last time, so I'm going to skip it, but it's a nice collection. You should check it out. So this is the Royal Palace. It's closed for lunch between 12 and 2. So make sure you show up at the right time. So this complex has served as the residence for the King of Cambodia since it was built in 1860. except during the Khmer Rouge chaos. The seat of the power for the Khmer Empire sat in Angkor in 802 AD until Angkor fell in the 15th century Siam. And after the Dark Ages, they call it, that's when this palace was built in 1860. So this is the Independence Monument. It was built to commemorate the Cambodia's independence from France in 1956. It's meant to embody the lotus flower, which of course is a symbol for Buddha in Buddhism. So that's the 12th thing Genocide Museum across the street over here. From about 1975 to 1976, about 20,000 Cambodians were brought here by the Khmer Rouge, tortured, murdered, and interrogated, trying to find enemies of the Khmer Rouge. And the ones that were decided were guilty were marched out to the killing fields. If they weren't killed here, they were killed out there. And so it's crimes of humanity. The Pol Pot himself died in the jungle of natural causes, but a few of his higher-ups were tried and convicted of war crimes. And basically they were angry, the Khmer Rouge were angry at the former political leaders because they didn't believe they were taking care of the people. There were many people that were going hungry, they were uneducated, had no health care, this sort of thing. And so they were retaliating, but they were only in power for about 4 years. And then the Vietnamese came in and overthrew the Khmer Rouge. And now this is a museum. You can come learn about the genocide. So Chung Hoi went inside. I've been here before and I really couldn't take it again, but she was inside this time. What was your experience?
It's really great when you have an audience, and in the end you will meet the true survivor, and you can take a photo with them and buy their book about their story.
Wow.
They will tell you that they have the electric shot into their ear, so half of their this side is gone. They cannot hear anything.
Wow.
Yeah, one of them. Another one is a painting. So painter, very sad. But I go through this, it's really very sad.
Did they talk about what their job was before the Khmer Rouge took over?
Yes.
What were their jobs?
One of them is a painter, another one I didn't know.
So an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were taking anybody with a college education, if you had any money in your family, any education, and they thought people that were educated or had money were evil, and they were trying to create an agricultural society.
The painter is he survived is because that the cameras need him to painting something. Another one is a typer. So he is survivor with a type machine.
I see.
He's supposed to be record something for the cameras. That's why both of them.
So that's why they survived.
That's why.
But most people died then? Or,
Yeah.
Crazy, 2 million people.
Yeah.
So this was Cambodia's version of Nazi Germany. There's the Phnom Penh night market. We have 4 videos about Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Best cheap food, retire low cost of living, nightlife tour, and the must-see walking tour. Click more information below this video for our webpage with all the other Phnom Penh videos embedded therein, plus 50 other retire cheap reports. It's Dan of Vagabond Awake, and if you're enjoying this video, could you please subscribe, like it, comment? Any of those things would help us in the search rankings and improve our business, so I can get enough money together to buy her a new pair of shoes. She has holes in the bottom of her shoes.
No, I don't.
Please help us.